on the same day once, you know. I went off to Durham for a job, and you took your route to your granddad Toby's in Cuddy. I was waiting on the platform when your gran came and told Dad you'd vanished.
How was he when you nipped in to say goodbye?
Oh, it was all right. I thought at one time he blamed me personally for Labour being voted out. He's put his tape measure away anyway.
His what?
That he was using to measure exactly where I stood on the left. He'll be watching me like a hawk, though. Times and a Herald, please.
Settling in down there?
I'm getting the feel of the house now. As if they close Cuddy, I'll be expected to rise and shine and get stuck into them. I'll not be the only one, though. If Cuddy goes, there'll be cuts all round in the coal industry. It's marginal.
If Cuddy stays open, George will come back from Cornwall.
Ethel thinks he's looking for a house.
He'll not be looking so damned hard. He'd lost heart for it before he left here.
You'll keep an eye on Eileen for us.
Aye, I'll do that.
When's your turn coming? I know. You want to stop single and live forever.
I read in a newspaper somewhere that married men live longer than bachelors. Looks as if I might have to change my mind, eh?
I've never regretted it.
Well, I've 2 weeks holiday I'm on. Happen it might be a good time, eh?
You know what they say about marrying an ace, don't you? Make sure you marry for the right reasons.
What are the right reasons, Frank?
Ask me next time I'm home.
Have you seen Corby lately?
Thanks. No, not for about, a month or so. Why? What's the problem?
I'm not sure that there is one. What do you think of the new extensions?
Oh, looking fine. A hive of activity.
Aye, except for Corby. We gave him the job of partitioning the offices and storerooms in the holidays. Gives him a fortnight from today. I did say he could start preparation from Wednesday last. Couldn't see him finishing otherwise. The staff we're taking from Stainforth are due on the 21st. We've just no other accommodation for them. His material's here, all right, but there's no signs of his men.
Well, I did say he might need chasing.
I'll let Cassie persuade me. She seems to feel she owes him a debt.
No, Dodger.
No, Sam. Off on holiday tomorrow.
No. Holidays at home this year. Saving up for a scooter.
I'll be working on Corby's accounts today. I'll probably have to go around there tonight if there are, any queries. Would you like me to drop a hint?
Aye, might be as well if you did. Come in.
Hello, Sam.
Oh, Morris. Have I come at a bad time?
What are you doing here? You're supposed to be on holiday.
I'm a bit worried about the lads that are stopping on over the holidays for maintenance. Franklin from Stainforth's. He rubs them up the wrong way.
Well, you're in charge of the shop, Sam.
Yeah, when I'm here. I could stop on. I'm not going anywhere.
He thinks we can't manage without him.
It's up to you.
You take your holiday. If I lose control, I'll whistle you back.
You keep an eye on it, then.
You can hold me personally responsible.
You're a witness.
Right.
See you later. Give me a love to Jessie.
Yes, sir.
Times have changed, Morris. Used to be yes, Mr. Robert, no, Mr. Robert in this office when Dad was alive.
Does he like being in charge of the assembly shop?
Well, I think his loyalties tend to get a bit divided sometimes. He seems to need to have a foot in both camps.
Dad,
Aye?
somebody to see you.
Mr. Corby?
Aye?
Mr. Arthur Benjamin Corby?
Aye, that's right.
Will you please accept service of this?
You what?
I'll let myself out.
Here, hang on a minute.
Good morning, Mr. Corby.
Who was that?
Oh, nobody much. I wrote a contract.
Can you look after this for me while I nip to the shops?
Oh, aye.
There we are. Are you all right?
Aye, I'm in mind on the job. Off you go. I'll look after him.
I won't be long.
Grandad.
When you grow up, don't spend your youth working your fingers to the bone, lad. Work at a pace that'll let you live. Don't get to my age, find your note. Not much to remember either.
Right. Will you sit over here now?
I just moved from over there to here, didn't I?
Yes, you did. So I could sweep over here. Now I want to sweep over there, don't I?
If you'd swept here first, I'd have only had to move once, wouldn't I?
Yes, well, we can't all be as bright as you, can we? Now, would you mind looking slippy? I'm late and I've got work of my own to do.
Work? We had George working away in Cornwall. What work?
The dust does not cease to settle just because he's away, you know. Look, are you moving, or shall we just leave a permanent muck heap there?
Storm the bloody crows.
Do anything for anybody, as long as it's appreciated. Did you get your pension this week?
Of course I got my pension.
Good. Then you can pay me for them groceries I got you. It were 12 and 6 and 8 as far as I remember.
Has he said aught to you about where he's going for his holidays?
Sam? He's not going anywhere so far as I know.
He promised me a day out.
Well, that is a coincidence, isn't it?
What is?
He promised me a day out too. Not that I shall hold him to it.
You're not.
Or would you? He only did it from a sense of duty. You don't think he'd go for a day out with either you or me from choice, do you?
Why shouldn't he?
Well, he's got his own life to lead, hasn't he? You don't think he wants you, us, hanging round his neck all the time, do you?
You speak for yourself.
He's got his own life to lead, has Sam. I shall not be a drag on him for one. He's got his own interests.
You mean Kirby's lass, I suppose.
Oh, happen.
He takes her out, that's all.
Happen?
If you know something, say something.
I know what I see, that's what I know.
He wants to wed her.
I wouldn't be surprised.
And keep another man's bairn.
Like Alan Dakin did, you mean?
Not to my wishes. She's the wrong sort for him.
Oh, is she? You know all about it, I suppose.
She's been spoilt by Kirby. She's been taught a way of life we know naught about.
My worse luck.
I know your bloody aspirations.
Oh, I'm not entitled to aspirations, aren't I?
Ah, you can have them all you want. They'll come to naught.
Do you think I don't know that? What do you think's kept me going all these years? Dreaming of winning the pools or the Irish sweep. Thinking somebody might leave me a fortune one day. I'll tell you what's kept me going, Master. Making the best of what I've had. Now, don't you belittle what I've done with my life. Don't you dare.
Don't you nag at me just because you've not got your own husband to take it out on. He must think he's in bloody Shangri-La down in Cornwall.
Come here, no more. No more.
That suits me, missus. I can use a brush, you know.
No,
I'm not stick fast for your company. That suits me, missus.
Yeah. Isn't that good? Look. Look. Yeah, go on, have a go. This way. Like that. Go on. Push it. Push it.
I'm sorry, we've note in the house.
It's all right, Arthur. Have the night for boozing if I'm so minded.
What you brought him now?
Nothing much.
You ruined him.
Well, I was ruined a bit at his age. I had to pay for it later, though. He'll not.
How do you make that out?
Look,
He's got you. You'll not see him short. You're not cast iron like me grandad. You're as soft as a brush when it comes to kids, Arthur. Yeah.
Look what he did to me own.
She'll be all right, will Sarah?
Will she? You guarantee it, will you? Will you?
Arthur.
Embarrassed you, haven't? How do you think I feel?
And why say it?
I've a right to know.
There's a right, Arthur. It's hers, not yours. She's a grown woman. She can take care of herself, can Sarah?
Can she? Take away what she gets from me, and what has she?
You're going to take it away, are you? What the hell are you going on about?
Did you say you're on holiday?
Aye. We're staggering them to get the alterations done.
Will you do me a favour?
Like what?
Take her out for the day.
What, tomorrow?
Aye.
Bit short notice, isn't it?
You've not been round for a week.
I've been up to me neck in it at the works. She knows about it. I rang her. What's wrong with you, Arthur?
It's just I've got some people coming. It's business. You'd be better out of it, that's all.
Well, why didn't you say so?
Well, can you?
Dad? Oh. Well, look what dropped in. Think I was a burglar.
Jessie.
Do you always leave the front door unlocked when you're working late?
Well, we've paid all the bills today, so there's nothing left to pinch. Apart from a few 5-ton castings. You come to tell me off again?
I've come to drag you out of here. I've had to leave the kids with Jessie.
Yes, I know. Another late night.
I've lost count of them.
Well, it'll slacken off next week.
You said that last week. I think I shall take over here. Let you stop at home and look after the kids. What shall I do first? Raise that capital you were needing.
Oh, we've raised it. Yes, we got a 12,500 loan from the Industrial Finance Corporation and another 2.5 from my cousin Rach in exchange for shares.
Oh. Well, I'd better get production increased then, hadn't I? What do I do? Pick up the phone and shout at somebody?
Not in this organisation, you don't.
Raising kids is all I'm qualified to do, I suppose.
You're a bit bored with life, are you?
Can't have it both ways. Sam phoned.
Oh?
Wanted to know if I'd have young Tom tomorrow. He's taking Sarah out for the day.
Oh. Sounds as though you might be going to pop the question.
Pop the question? What an old-fashioned thing you are. Is that what you thought when you came to ask me? I'll go and pop the question to Cassie.
Oh, it's about time he got married.
You think?
Yes, it might settle him in his work more.
You don't think he's settled?
Well, you always get the feeling with Sam that he might just take wings and fly away.
Yeah.
You felt that too?
Yeah, I felt it too. Why didn't you fly away?
Well, somebody needed me to stay.
Me?
Oh, before you. Mum, Dad, the foundry. It's not a complaint, you know, it's just a fact. Anyway, perhaps some of us aren't too sure about wings. And you know, if you want to be needed, there's always someone or something. Grandad?
Where have you been?
Down at Brown Cow. Thought you might have come round for a glass.
I've been planting lettuces down at the allotment. You dropped off when I got back.
You better get to bed then. Early rise tomorrow.
Oh, I'm not getting wet someone to get your bloody breakfast.
Breakfast? I'm on holiday. We're going off for the day.
Who is?
You are. Up early. Creep off quiet before anybody wakes, eh?
Well, I thought I must be the last in the queue.
Mystery trip. Somewhere I've always wanted to take you.
Where?
Where? Well, if I tell you where, it won't be a flaming mystery, will it?
What's this for here, Arthur?
It's timber, what it says.
Oh, yes. I didn't see that.
Well, I'm off to bed. Sam said he'd be round at 7 to take Tom to Cassie's.
I think we're having him part of the time.
Good, he likes a change of company. Good night, then.
Good night.
Right, love. It's another receipt for timber.
Yes, that's all right then. As a matter of fact, it wasn't just the timber I came about, Arthur. I didn't want to say anything while Sarah was here.
You found it, have you?
Yes. There's a hell of a lot not covered, Arthur. What is there over the turn of the year in outstanding debt?
That debt's to me. Next to nothing. Nothing like enough to pay that lot off. I got this today. The bank want the house.
Did you find the milk?
I found it.
He went back to sleep as soon as he touched the pillow.
I'll have to be off in a minute. I'm picking up Sarah when I've been back home.
Where are you going?
It's that place we went to with Morris last time, you know. Oh, I forgot you weren't there, were you? It was Jessie and Sarah.
Get us mixed up, do you?
I wanted you to be there, Cass.
Go away,
sorry,
Sam.
Cassie. Cass.
It didn't happen. It never happened.
sorry,
Go
Cass.
away. Go away, Sam.
Where are you supposed to be off to?
Same place as you, by the look of it.
You ready for off, then?
Sherry. She's gone. She's gone. She's gone.
You're quiet in the back there.
Can we have lunch early today?
What?
Can we have lunch early today?
What?
Can we have lunch early today?
12:30, all right.
Fine.
Right.
Thank you. Oh, I might be a bit late tonight, though.
What, work?
Yes.
Didn't you tell me you had a night off?
It's Arthur Corby.
What's Arthur's problem?
The bank want his house.
They what?
The bank want his house. Look, I shouldn't discuss it with you, really, but since Sarah's involved, she's in for a rough time, I'm afraid.
What do they want his house for?
He'd use it as security to keep the business going. He's up to his neck in debts. Been keeping things from me. Thought I wouldn't approve, I suppose. He's damn right, too.
They can't take the house, can they?
Too true they can. And will. That's business. He's had his money. Now they want their pound of flesh.
Isn't there any way out?
Yes. Borrow from somewhere else to pay the interest on what he's borrowed already.
Just the interest?
Just the interest.
Can't you help?
Oh, he's a bad risk, Jess. I don't know anybody who'd take him on. All I can do is to try to minimise the damage.
Where will they live?
You tell me.
God, poor Sarah.
This is it.
Not even a glimpse of the sea. Is this all we're getting?
No, I mean, this is where we stopped when I came once before. Am I right?
Well, it's not as I remember it.
Well, this is it. You can take my word for it.
Go on, you'd not remember. You were only 10 at the time.
10? I was 11.
He was 11.
He was 10, as I remember.
11 he was.
Let's call it 10 and a half. Split the difference, eh?
10's what I remember.
Stopped here, did you?
Aye, calling nature.
Motorbike and sidecar, the Deakin Board of Gascoignes. 5 of you in it to work.
Aye.
I come to the end of 8 year out of work that day. They made me check Wayman.
Aye.
It meant we'd the means to keep you and your mam at home with us. But it come too late. She were deep in with Dakin by then. That was a bitter pill, that was.
It's all in the past, Grandad.
Aye. The past.
I'll go and see what Sarah's up to.
The past. I was spent up.
I didn't give it you to put in Yorkshire penny.
6 pints and a Jill. Money down drain, you'd have said at one time.
So it is.
Aye, it is. I don't dispute it, but time comes, Polly, time comes.
So it seems.
I shall not make a practice of it.
No.
We shall go on as we are.
Aye.
You know, don't you?
Aye, I know.
I wanted to tell you, Miss Sam.
No matter. Good news is good, choose who brings it.
Love.
Will it take this time of year?
Worth a try.
Well, it'll not be missed from this lot, that's for sure.
Permission to speak.
What?
You quiet today?
Quiet.
Hardly said 2 words in the car, any of you. Family row?
No.
Hey. You know what that is? What does it look like?
A shoe.
It's called a bract. It's a baby leaf. But I don't think it grows anymore. It stays as it is.
It's lucky then.
You think? What stage do you want to have your development arrested at, then? Or have you passed it already?
Happen.
Well, when were your golden years, then?
Up to when Grandad told me, left me them houses and that bit of land, I suppose.
Doesn't sound like a catastrophe to me.
Well, I used to live off what I earned up to then. If I wanted anything, I saved for it. Knew where I was. Caused me a lot of trouble, that lot.
Well, you got rid of it all now.
I've 4 houses left. A few shares in Crossman's for that land I let him have. Where do you think that came from?
Ah, you could afford it anyway, couldn't you? You have a good job.
Ah, well, that's something else again. I used to finish work when I left pit gates behind me. I take it home now.
You enjoy it, though.
Aye. That's something else again. I like being in charge. Having my own way a bit, you know.
Yes, I noticed that.
You reckon you got me all weighed up, don't you?
Oh, well, that's something else again.
Let's be on, then.
You wait your rush. Let's sit a while. I don't feel 18 year older. Or is it 17? Not that it matters. Happen I've lost a year. lost a year.
Too far under, aren't they? Bankruptcy, is it?
Well, I'll have to look into it a bit more, you know.
Tell Crossman for me.
Yes, if you want me to.
I'd be embarrassed to tell him myself. Well, that's what it is, isn't it? It's embarrassing.
The men will be there tomorrow, though.
No, oh, they'll be there. To pay him for last week out of my back pocket. To root in Sarah's handbag for the last £half-crown. Oh, he'll get his job done. He'll just have them to pay and the materials.
They'll need supervision, though, won't they?
Oh, I'll need a bit of guidance, something. That mean I'll have to go down there tomorrow.
Well, I'm sure Peter will stick to the original contract. I think you should carry on, yes.
More for the creditors, you mean?
Well, I'll nip in again tomorrow, yes? Is there anything else I can do?
You'll lend me a couple of quid, happen?
It's electrical. Faulty lead or a short happen. It'd take me a couple of hours to find out what's wrong, even with the equipment and the wiring diagram.
What was the wrong with the old one?
It was old, Grandad. Can't stick with the old things all the time. You have to keep moving.
Why?
Because it's either that or slide back. There's no such thing as standing still.
Who says so?
I do. Besides, makes work, doesn't it?
Well, it makes enough work be breaking down so far as I can see.
You go on after Ethel and Sarah. I'm going to nip into the village, see if I can find a garage.
Don't leave me on my own with them two overlong.
Go on, you can handle a couple of women, Grandad.
Thinks he's an expert. I lost count of the lasses he went out with before he were 20. Safety in numbers, he'd say. Safety. From what? Is it marriage he fears? His father's blood in him? No rest. No contentment. Nothing to last. Safety. From what?
So has Morris been to Corby's?
Yes.
Where are the kids?
They're out in the garden. With Morris and Peter. I told them they could come to me for the teas.
Fine.
Morris is probably telling Peter the bad news now.
Won't Corby do the job?
Oh, yes, he'll do it. I meant bad news from Corby's point of view.
I'm sorry if I sounded a bit selfish, but it was me that persuaded Peter to let Corby do it, and he's got enough on his plate right now with the works in a turmoil.
I suppose Sarah might marry Sam.
Sam?
They're knocking around together for a fair old time.
Could be out of the frying pan into the fire then, all right.
Morris reckons he's steadied down a lot.
Oh, yes.
You think there's someone else?
Well, it's just a matter of time, isn't it?
You know him better than I do.
I could wish for a better fate, that's all.
Your old man wants you.
You mean my lord and master?
Well, tall chap with glasses out there in the garden.
You mean my fancy man?
Pity your little lad can't come.
Yes. He's just no good in cars. He gets terribly sick. Hey,
grow out of it.
I was pregnant when I came here last.
Were you?
George loved it when I was pregnant. He watched me all the time. It's coming on, he'd say. She's on her way to being a doctor now. She decided, not us. Not that we could have helped her much anyway. They grow away from you, don't they? They don't mean to, I'm sure. It just happens. Yeah, it wasn't till I'd had our Pat I knew what my mum went through, trying to keep my dad in order. He was a specimen that he was. Would have been better off without him.
Trying to reassure me because I don't have a father for mine.
Well, there can be more of hindrance than help, you know.
Well, I certainly wouldn't marry just for that.
Has he asked you yet?
Sam? Good heavens, no. What gave you that idea?
Oh, sorry, I shouldn't have asked. It dates me, doesn't it, thinking that people only go out together when they've a mind to marry. Wish you would all the same.
It's nice of you to say so. Why?
Well, you get on, don't you?
Yes, I suppose we do. We didn't at first. It was very much against Dad. Politics, I think.
Oh, that. You take no notice of that. He gets it from that old devil back there. No, he'll find his own way in the end, will Sam? Choose what his granddad's dinned into him. Ah.
I'm glad you think we get on. I mean, I'm glad it shows.
Well, you like him, don't you?
Yes, I like him.
Yeah, I like George. Well, it's not every woman likes her husband, you know? Romance is overrated, don't you think? It's better read about than lived with.
He's coming back.
Trouble is, when you find out what's good for you, it can be too late, can't it?
Lee, what if they can't find what's up with it?
Oh, for God's sake, stop worrying, Grandad.
Of course I'm bloody worried. If we can't get home, where do I sleep?
I shall find you somewhere to sleep. A nice cosy edge bottom somewhere, eh?
You can laugh.
Can I?
It's easy to see you've never had no trouble with your joints.
Look, there's a hotel back there I've stayed at before. If we get in trouble, I'll fix us up there. I've already asked them. All right?
Bloody hotels.
All right, then. Hotel for us, edge bottom for you. I bet you've never stayed in a hotel, have you, Grandad?
I've slept in my own bed all my life. All my life. What you looking at me like that for?
Nothing, Grandad.
Hotels. Bloody hotels. Nobody give me due warning. Nobody do. I've got no bloody clothes, nothing.
What's wrong with Grandad?
He likes his own bed.
If we're to stay, I'd better ring Cassie about Tom.
The chap at the garage said he'd work till 9 if he thought he could repair it. He sent for a part. I'll go up there later and check with him. You can ring then.
Aren't you going to paddle?
No, thanks.
You should have brought your bucket and spade.
Just like it quiet.
At a hint.
No, of course not. Got one of those moods on today.
That's all right. You don't have to try hard with me. You know that, don't you?
Aye.
I'll go and finish the story of your life as seen by Ethel. She's been telling me about the first time you came here.
I've been here 3 times now. And every time I've come here, I've found a missing piece. It's like doing a jigsaw.
Don't get too far into that mood. You might get stuck.
Dakin. Dakin.
Hey!
Susie. Come on. Have you little secret?
Oh, you won't.
She was me mum. Didn't think of her as a woman. Dakin.
Was it Sam? Go with it. I'll
I think perhaps I'd better take him back with me then.
Hey, they'll be all right with me until they come, won't you? Of course you will. Absolutely. Got to show me how the
Will you tell them that he'll be at Jess's? We'll probably be out. Come on.
I happen you're right. I'm sorry I let you down. All that job for your husband. Put a word in for me, didn't you?
He understands.
Does he?
Could happen to anybody, he says.
Your dad were a generous man.
Yeah. We never paid you all that back rent, did we?
Not pay one of the men a week's work and all that. It's all forgotten. See, had to help him by stealth. He'd not take it from others.
No.
Plenty of took from him, though. And in less need.
Yes.
He's one of the few chaps I've known that put his money where his mouth was.
Put his heart where his head should have been too, didn't he, Mr. Corby?
You think so?
Oh, he didn't think so. He thought he had it all under control. Pity he didn't have something else under control. His 5 kids paid a price for his principles.
Never thought I'd hear a thing like that from you.
Well, he was a good man, but he was better than he could afford to be. So somebody else had to pay.
How do you end up there?
Suppose you think I didn't care about him because I talk like that, but it's because I cared that I get so mad at the waste of him and his life and the rest of us.
He helped a lot of people, Cassie.
Well, charity begins at home. Come on.
I don't just mean money.
No, and I don't just mean money either. It'll not happen to me, Mr. Corby. I shall not put my heart where my head ought to be.
Hey, hadn't somebody better give him a hand with that?
Him. If she's the cat's mother, who's him?
Well, Cat's father on that reckoning.
I'll see to it, Grandad.
Yeah, I'll not be beat by a flaming chair. Yeah, how's that?
Handle like an expert.
Cat's father, eh?
Hey, you going to leave your coat for the fishes, then?
I'll get it.
I'll put it on.
I don't mind carrying it.
Hey, I'll put it on.
Here, let me help you. Dad's beginning to feel the cold. He's finished up in bed once or twice with going out without his coat on.
Where does it get him?
His back, mostly.
Ah, that's right. That's where it gets me. We've got somewhat in common then, me and your dad.
Not very much, I gather.
No, not so much. Not so much in common.
They both went down the pit from school. You have that.
Right.
Did you want Sam to go down the pit?
No.
And why do you blame Dad for getting out of it?
He joined the opposition, he learned their tricks, and he played them back on us. It's not getting out of the pit I blame him for.
Had he a choice the way things were?
I'd not have played it that way.
Oh, you're different, are you?
Papa and I were brought up different.
We could blame the Almighty, I suppose. They do say it's him that chooses the sheets we're born atween.
That's not the answer I expected.
No, it's not the answer you'd have got if you'd have been a young upstart like yon, instead of a pretty young woman.
What are we waiting for? Shouldn't we be off?
Oh, we've got to wait for the babysitter, haven't we?
Oh, yes, of course.
It's not one of your days, is it?
No, it's not one of my days. It's not one of yours either, is it? What's that?
Just a drop of bicarb.
And we're going out to eat. Why didn't you say you didn't feel like it?
Well, I will when we get there, just a mild precaution. Where's Tom? Next door, upstairs.
Next door. Oh, you'll do this for me, will you? Oh, blimey, no,
I'm sorry.
no.
Was Corby very drunk?
Oh, he was well on the way to it.
Did you tell Morris to warn Sarah?
Yes, I told him.
Poor devil.
Oh, Corby? Yeah, so you said before.
You don't have much sympathy for him, do you?
He was an ordinary working man like my dad. He even went to school with my dad. Look at the difference. Looked after himself, did Corby.
I've heard you say that your father should have spent more time on you and the rest of the kids and less on other people, haven't I?
Well?
I have, you know, Cassie.
Well, there's a happy medium, isn't there?
In this world? You're like Sam, as far as I know him.
Sam?
Yeah, I've seen it in his expression sometimes in the works. And he's caught in a situation between the management and the men, and nobody's ready to compromise. He said what he was really thinking. He'd say a plague on both your damned houses. It's an uncomfortable way to live, Cassie. There's no book of rules.
There's lads of my generation that never saw the sea. He'll bring his own kids here as a matter of course.
Look at that.
Slackened off a bit, that's all. Once in life, I let things rest. What happened? What happened? Bloody jackals moved in. Bloody jackals moved in. The bloody jackals moved in.
Grandad finished his soup yet?
He likes to take his time. He's an old man.
Old? Grandad? He'll never be old, him.
That's more like it.
What?
He smiled.
I'm sorry. I bring you for a day out and I've been a misery.
That's what friends are for, isn't it? To live with through the bad times.
The car will be ready in half an hour.
Good, I'll not bother ringing Dad then.
I'd like to know what they cook their chips in here.
I'll go and talk to Grandad.
She seems to have won him over anyway. Old misery guts in there. You're a fair imitation of him yourself today, aren't you?
Chip off the old block.
I like her. I've enjoyed being with her.
Good.
I'll say no more. Let us know when you're ready.
Dakin. I know, Dakin.
hates me, doesn't there? Why? It comes from thee, not from me. All is from thee. I tried to be right with thee for her sake.
You came here to whip me, didn't you?
Aye, I did.
Well, come on and bloody whip me then.
It's gone out of me, what I felt in train coming here. It's gone out of me. I care neither one way nor t'other now about thee. Except for one thing. She'd turn in her grave if she could see us now.
She cared nought for thee.
You know nought. You're a lad. I know. You can rant at me as you like. It's in me mind. I live it every day of my life.
She was me mum. I thought nobody could have more right to grieve for her than me.
She tells me we can go home.
Aye. You'll sleep in your own bed tonight, Grandad.
Take the roof over your bloody head. Lifetime's bloody work. I've never done that. Have I? Have I? Oh, God. Start again. Sarah, she'll be back for now. Sarah, it's not too late. Start again. Shame. Shame. Start again. Sarah. Shame. Start again. First thing, come on. Like a fresh start. Sarah, help. First thing, come on. Shame. Sarah, help. Stop. First thing, in the morning. Like always, like a fresh start. I'm coming. Wait on! I'm coming!